Hey cats, it's Ed, Father Shoemus Bud here. I've got a special festive Christmas cracker for you, my top Christmas gift ideas for runners. Hopefully this video will give you some ideas as to a wonderful Christmas gift you can get for your loved one who's perhaps really into running. They might be out there right now and you're watching this video secretly trying to pick up some ideas. Okay, let's get to it. Thanks for joining me on the channel. I'm Eddbud. I review running shoes here, but also talk about running stuff in general. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, but also give this video a thumbs up like too. Comment as well to help fight the YouTube algorithm and get the videos out to more runners. Dankeschön. I've got my top Christmas gift ideas for runners for you today. Lots of different suggestions, and the first is for some earbuds. A bit of a seasonal sensational sale on these next ones. Fantastic if you're doing some long runs and you need to sort of keep the focus or stave away boredom on the treadmill. I've been lucky enough to test out a recent pair from UYN, the Air Pro 4. It's a set of wireless earbuds that really do pack a punch. There's lots of different features built in here at a great price. Love these due to the great battery life. Appears to give me around about 30 hours of use, even if I'm using some of the active noise cancelling functions and features that we've got built in here. Now, I would never recommend running around with active noise cancelling on. That's just asking for trouble, really, cutting out all the sounds that are around you. What I tend to do is actually turn on the microphones so they go straight back into the earbuds, and it actually amplifies any hazards that you might have around you at that time. There's 5 different ANC modes, though I like to cycle through the 3 that are easily accessible from the headphones themselves rather than using the UYN app. Actual audio quality on these is really good. It's quite flat, in fact. You find on some earbuds that the bass is a little bit hyped up, the treble too, a little bit over the top sometimes. Trying out some test material from something like the War on Drugs recent album, I Don't Live Here Anymore. The drums are proud, they're rounded, the bass sits nice and well within the mix, and the acoustic guitars have lots of nice sibilants to help them cut through some of the quite dense sort of soundscapes that we've got. The Lemon Twigs, A Dream Is All I Know, is well presented in the UYN Air Pro 4. Nice stereo field and warmth to the sound, and that isn't always what we get on cheaper sets of earbuds. The controls are easy enough to grasp and they work pretty well even with gloves on actually. After a few attempts of using the noise cancelling features, turn them on and off, you can cycle through them really quickly. Typical stuff like left and right to go up and down, double taps on the right earbud to stop and start, and a long press on the left earbud to turn on the noise cancelling. These are about $59.99 in the Black Friday sales right now. Black Friday is pretty much like a week now, sometimes even a month really. I think these represent some top-notch quality for a really good price, and it's the best version of the Air Pro yet. So well done UYN. They just keep getting better actually year on year. They had a few more features in, and they certainly shape up against some of the much more expensive earbuds. Another banger for you that is an absolute must for the runners, the UYN Runners 5 socks. I've talked about these quite extensively on the channel before. I really love these for training and racing. They wash really well. You can kind of tailor your shoes to size as well. Perhaps if you've got a shoe that's a little bit wider, a bit more generous in the upper, you can utilize these socks to really dial in the fit. They just kind of make your foot slightly wider, and of course your toes have got a little bit more splay to them. I mean, I was a bit skeptical at first about these toe socks going to work for me. How are they going to feel? They're going to be odd. That wasn't the case. They feel amazing. It's the Runners 5. That's the ones you need to look for. They do come in a low cut and a higher cut version. And of course they're going to keep the feet a tad warmer in the cold conditions. I think I've got about 5 pairs of these now, constantly in rotation. Don't scrimp on your sock game, runners, you know. Go for these, they really are great in terms of quality. Just boosts the comfort a little bit. I think you get even more out of them really in the winter. These are available across the web, though I did notice that Running Point have got them down to about 16 quid if you're over in the EU. I think that's a very reasonable price for such an item. You can get loads of use out of these. UYN keeping your feet happy. Now, Start Fitness have got some tech available at a discounted price right now. The Coros Pace 3 is in stock in loads of different colourways. In their sale, you can get the watch for as little as 197 quid. Yes, that is a costly stocking filler, but when you consider it's a watch and it's going to last you several years, I think it makes it better value. It's got everything that a runner could need on here, and in a very light package too. I've been using the Coros Vertix 2S. It's certainly a more bulky watch, and there's loads of functions and features that I'm probably never really going to make use of. The Pace 3 is a little bit more concise, a little bit more clear cut. The Coros software and the ecosystem that they use is now much more of a match for the Garmin analytics, and comes with improved heart rate data by the optical sensor, and it's all in a super lightweight package. A lot of viewers have commented on this watch. They say that they've got super battery life and it charges really quickly too, and that's always good when you've got a busy life and you can't be sort of worrying about carrying loads of cables and things around with you. Though do be aware that the Coros watches use a proprietary 3-pin cable, which is different when you look at the Garmin 4-pin version. So I think this one represents one of the best, cheaper running watches around at the moment. Now, I'm the shoe man. I've got to include a shoe or two on this list. I've got two stellar bargains for you, both from Nike. They've got some big deals right now. The Pegasus Trail 5 Gore-Tex can be had in select sizing at Nike now for 108 quid here in the UK. I love the Pegasus Trail 5 standard version, and here we get some superb traction and a nice stable yet forgiving ride from the React X midsole. You got to use the code GOBIG24. I think this one runs out on like the 2nd of December. It gives you 25% off, so do be quick on this one. It's only select colorways though of the Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex which you can apply this code to. Though I can beat that one, the Zegama 2. This features a full ZoomX midsole and a Vibram outsole, so it's a bit of a improvement, it's a bit of an upgrade over the Peg Trail 5 Gore-Tex outsole. It's at an even lower price than the Pegasus Trail 5. I don't quite understand how. Let me check. Okay, I think they'd already discounted it slightly in certain colorways, so it's coming in at 98 quid with that code. I think that's pretty hard to beat if you want a winterized shoe with loads of cushion, and you can also use it as a lifestyle model and in the wet weather as well. So some massive deals over at Nike.com right now. Could be slightly different in your country, but here in the UK, they really are going for it. Talking of winter, there's an item I bought several years ago that I think will make a fantastic stocking filler. The Petzel Actik Core Headtorch. Probably one of the best investments I ever made, like back in 2017. I think I got it for like about 30 quid. It's lasted the test of time in cold conditions, in the wet, foreboding weather out there sometimes. It's never ever let me down. Easy to charge up using a USB cable. It provides you hours and hours of use. Now it does take around 3 hours to fully charge up my version of it. The battery in mine is the same as when I first bought it. Reliable, easy to adjust the tightness on this one using that slightly elasticated strap, and you can position the light using the tilt feature really easily. I think on my model you got about 3 different levels of brightness. There's also like a strobing feature and a red light as well, so you can turn that on so you're not blinding anybody. Easily one of the best purchases I've made over the last few years. I think the new version of the Actik Core has about 600 lumens max brightness. I think my older one was about 450, and that can be picked up a little bit cheaper if you look around on the net. So it's like 2 versions. Both of them though are highly recommended. Okay, last up on my Christmas cracker list. In training and racing, I tend to stick to what I know. I don't like sort of eating anything that's sort of out of the ordinary when I'm doing a race, or at least before I'm doing a race. As such, the Science in Sport orange energy gels, just under 20 quid for 30 sachets on Amazon. It's really hard to beat. I like getting a box of these in, and then I can utilise them perhaps on some longer runs, when going upwards past like 10 miles or something. The great thing about them is you don't really need any water to consume them. They're quite sort of liquid to start with, and they don't taste too sugary in the mouth either, so they're not going to upset your stomach. I find the orange flavour quite refreshing, but bizarrely that's the one that's always heavily discounted across the internet. So if you want to make sure that you keep yourself fueled up during those longer runs, perhaps you need a bit of a pick-me-up when you're out there, you're starting a flag or something. It's great to have a couple of these, you know, in your pocket, just ready for when you need them. And I find that they're pretty easy to open unless your hands are like completely frozen or something. Definitely one of the top picks for me, an excellent choice if you've got a fleet-footed runner that needs a festive little surprise. What are your top running gifts for runners at Christmas? Have you got any good suggestions? Put them down in the comments and help the runners' family members out. Quick musical interlude for you. This is one you don't hear all that often, certainly over here in the UK. Ray Charles with That Spirit of Christmas. I first heard this one in the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's just got this beautiful, silky sort of feel about it. Very warm sounding piece of music. They use it when Clark Griswold's up in the loft, you know, watching the old films and stuff of his dad and his mum, you know, with them getting ready for Christmas. Gives you that wonderful sort of sentimental feeling, and Ray Charles' voice is absolutely wonderful here. There's a picture that goes along with the track on some of the streaming services of Ray Charles in a sleigh as well, with some like horses or so. It's really great. There's some beautiful, almost gospel style vocal harmonies later in the track as well. It is a fantastic tune. It hasn't got that sickly sweet feeling that you get from some of these, you know, new tracks. This one's got some real subtlety and some feeling about it, and that's what you want at Christmas. Go and check this one out, That Spirit of Christmas by Ray Charles. Thanks for tuning in, people. Hopefully this gave you a few ideas if you need some festive Christmas stocking fillers for your running buddies. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. Also drop us a comment to help with the YouTube algorithm. My name's Eddbud, and I'll be seeing you